Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. My name is Sadiq. On this platform, People of Islam, I'm going to talk about some issues pertaining to trials in faith. Now, why, for example, someone who is being tempted, either good or bad, he feels that Allah is either with him when the temptation is good or not with him when it is bad. For example, if you are faced with a calamity and calamity befalls a man, the man will say, "Oh, Allah is not faithful with me, Allah is neglecting me." No. Rather, it's a part of trial because it takes only the believer to be tested, to have a confirmation of his faith. If you are not tested, you will not know how faithful you are. For example, if a woman who is married to a man and the man wants to confirm the faith of the woman and her loyalty, to do so is to put her to some tests. And when she passes such tests, the man will believe that yes, this woman really loves him. But if she fails, the man will believe that, for example, the reason why she's in this relationship is because of what he gives to her. This is how to confirm or know the faith of someone. So Allah is not exempted. Allah tests his faithful servants. And that's why the Quran mentions in the Surah to Ankabut. Ankabut is known as spider, the chapter of spider. And it's found in verse 2 and 3 of the Holy Quran. Now, what does it say in that verse? It is reported in that verse. A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim. Bismillahir rahmanir rahim. Hasiban nasu an yutraku an yakulu amanna wa hum la yuftanun. وَلَقَدْ فَتَنَّا الَّذِينَ مِنْ قَبْلِهِمْ. Now what the verse said, men used to think, if they have been forsaken, that we believe in Allah, we believe, so why are we tested? Allah will reply them and say, already we have tested those before you. Why? He said, فَلْيَعْلَمَنَّ اللَّهُ الَّذِينَ صَدَقُوا وَيَلْعَنَّ اللَّهُ كَاذِبِينَ. Then Allah trying to test if the person is either faithful, truthful in his faith, or the person will deny him if everything leaves him financially or anything that surrounds him in comfort. But to show that when you are tempted, probably in this world, which we are in life we are living now, we feel that we are being neglected by God. No. So we check from example from a very faithful servant of God named Job, as found in the book of Job in the Bible, which I want to highlight as an example so that we can learn from it. We learn from the story. Very important story. This man came from Uz. Uz is in a place in the Middle East. This man was a very wealthy man, has wealth like 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 oxen, and also 7 handsome children, sons precisely, and 3 daughters. And those sons will celebrate feasts every day for each son. And in those feasts, they will keep some asses, some camels and all that. And they will keep some asses in the celebration. Now, a time came when the sons gathered themselves in the elder son's house, celebrating the feasts, while Job was in a garden, having some serene environment there in the garden. So at a point in time, a messenger came and met him and gave him a bad news because why? Satan has a conversation with God in heaven alongside the angels. He came out, and when Satan came out, he asked God, "Oh, look at your faithful servant Job." God said, "Yes, this faithful servant of mine." He said, "Now I want to put him to tests." He said, "How?" Because Job is a perfect man, upright and faithful, and also have the fear of God. So why will we tempt him? So I want to see that the reason why he's so perfect and faithful to you was because you have all these things around him. He has all the wealth, children, and everything. He lacked nothing. That's why he was faithful to you. That's okay. Put him to test. Now, when the man came and told him about the news that your sheep in the garden were stolen by the Syrians, and servants who were watching them were killed. And also, before he finished, another servant came in, reported that even your camels were being taken as well by the Chaldeans. And also, before he finished, another came in and said, wind came blowing in and brought down your house. Then all these news were coming one after the other. Then with that, Job fell down on his knee, put his hand on the ground and tear up his garment. And he said, "Oh Lord, that I came from my mother's womb naked, so I'm returning back naked. Why would I deny you at this point? That you gave me all these things from day one. So I cannot deny you at this point." Then that was one test he had passed. But Satan was furious. Went back to God. That was Job chapter 2, verse 1, 2, 3, 4. And also reported the same incident to God. He said, "Oh, please, I know he had passed this first test. Let's put on another test. Now, I want to pierce him with some sickness. And if I pierce him with this sickness, he will deny you." God said, "Go ahead," and did that. Then when he pierced him with the sickness of chickenpox, the wife saw it so disgusting. And the wife said to him, "Why not just curse God? It's the time to curse God, because it has come so worse that you have to curse God." Now, Job replied to the wife and said, "No, I will never curse God. Why do you speak such a foolish thing, O woman?" Then the woman left him and denied Job, and Job was left alone. Later, there were some 3 friends came to Job. Having that state in mind, they came to Job and they began to console Job. And one of the friends was Eliphaz from Temanite, and the other friend was Bildad from Shuhite, and the third one was Zophar. Now they came and they consoled. They saw Job in that state, very sick and weak. Yet Job refused to turn back against God. He stood firm in his faith, and that continued until God restored all things back to him. So what lesson are we going to learn from this great man Job? A very important lesson to learn. One, it shows that when you have wealth, you can be tested with wealth. God can take away the wealth from you. If you have children as well, you can be tested with that, because they are all temptations. Allah says in the Quran that both wealth and your children, they are what? Temptations. Man wa banuna fitnatu indallah. They are temptations. So they can be you can use that to test you. So when they test you, it depends on how faithful you are towards God. If you believe that your wealth is what defines you, then you have no value. If you believe that your children are what defines you, you have no value. For those that think that they have those possessions, they may have them no more at a point in time. So that the point is that we should not put all our trust in this dunya. We should put our trust in God. So please, brothers and sisters, this is exactly what I want to say. I thank you for this episode. My name remains Sadiq on this platform, Become of Islam. Thank you very much.